It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
There's a sense of disappointment in those, 6 to 11-year-olds' faces because the 12-year-old, they're walking 3 steps on your driveway and whipping that over their shoulder and never acknowledging it again.
Yeah, there's a reason I have to go up on the roof once a year and clean dum-dum suckers out of my gutters.
That's right. Like November 15th comes by and Steve's phone goes off and it's an alarm. To get the ladder, you got to go broom the dum-dums off the top.
And Kyle.
The other issue I had with you and your Halloween, and I guess I'll kick it off with a question, is why do you hate children? And I'll let you answer that in full before we move on to the issue.
Okay. Why? Boy, I'm just trying to figure out exactly why I hate children.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
For future purposes, I did isolate that small piece of audio and I saved it in our shared drive of you saying, I don't know why I hate children.
Good. Appreciate that.
Just for, okay, just in case, you never know what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got this new audio equipment with these fancy tools that we're still struggling with 3-4 weeks in. And I figure, if we need to load up the hot track pad, we still got to add the Rocky music or the Rocky quote. We've got to add Steve hating kids, all of those things.
Sure, yeah.
Did you, now, I think we somehow forgot to ask on the way out when we recorded that. The threat was to me, why don't you say that to Annette's face about the dum-dum suckers? And did you, in fact, give those to kids on Halloween? Did you follow up on that at all? Were those
No.
I didn't see the dum-dums on the steps, so I'm assuming those were thrown in the garbage with the other, like we talked about, butter rum candies and bubble gum flavored garbage.
No, I did not follow up with her because, as I said, that's on you.
Well, I think we'll notice next year when the turnout in the Zach is like 60% less because word's gotten out that those idiots with the Mickey and Minnie are pawning off dum-dums.
Well, perfect. Less candy I got to buy. So
I love it.
Pretty happy about that.
I do not want to get too deep. I mentioned it last week, but this is the last day. Not just the last week, the last day. You're listening to this, hopefully on the day it's released. You need to get your name and address in now for the 8th annual, maybe the last, you never know, Steve and Kyle podcast Cloak and Dagger non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange. Had a lovely turnout so far.
Yeah, we have.
I'm thrilled.
Very nice. Do you think we'll surpass our goal?
No.
Okay.
But that's just a guess. I don't believe so. But
what percentage of the way there when you last checked would you say we are?
We're about 90.
90?
Yeah.
That's great.
Listen, I am happy with the number.
Okay.
It's hard to always tell based on... I can't tell you the last time I checked how many people download this thing. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to always tell without knowing how far we're reaching. But yeah, I'm happy with the turnout. I love seeing new names. Love seeing the new names who join up on this thing every year. And if that's you, thank you for coming along. I think you'll find it's worth your time and investment. And if you're a multi-year participant, thank you as well, because it's obviously we need the lifelongs. And I always, every year, whenever we send out names of recipients, like, oh, hey, is that a Knob Turner Shike? And we're like, yep, that's the idiot. And then we'll get another message like, hey, that address is in Nashville. I go, yeah, I know. Trevor's been lying for years.
Yeah.
So all those things, always lovely. And, hey, is this UP Chris? Yeah, it's not in the UP. Shocker. Mm-hmm. So all those things, always happy to see people recognize that. But, yes, last day, last final hours to get your names in. You can see our posts all over social media at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Spent copious amounts of time putting those out there. Creating those.
Can I ask some questions about those posts?
Please do.
What the hell are those images? Where are they from? What is the what wizardry are you using? Because there was one a couple of weeks ago that I thought, is is that supposed to be me?
Oh, no.
Because there was one where it was an old man.
Yeah, I think I know the one.
But it looked kind of like me, gray hair.
Yeah.
Which I mean is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But it looked like, because as we know, I'm in my early 30s. I'm just 42 years old.
Yep.
This looked like it would be a maybe 65-year-old version of me.
Okay.
And I thought, hey,
I see him.
I thought, I don't look bad. If that's how I'm going to look when I'm 65.
I'm sorry, I have it pulled up right now.
Okay.
And if you're looking to follow along as I gaze upon Steve's face,
okay,
digitally and in person,
yeah.
It would have been. I'm trying to get the date on this post. I can't pull it up right now. I got to tell you, I could see this happening. Because you're not going to lose the hair, but it thins a little bit, and it's not going to be as springy.
Yeah.
Right. So you're probably worried about that. So yeah, and then I think what you're seeing and where your next destination is, I think it's the gigantic.
That definitely threw me off a bit because I try to keep myself in relatively decent shape. Apparently, in the future, I'm just going to completely let myself go.
Yeah, and don't let it pass you that your hands are now hot chocolate cups.
Is that what they are?
It appears that is what the AI generator that I used thought when I typed in different prompts.
Uh-huh.
Typically, like middle-aged man wearing a turtleneck, handing out hot chocolate to people. I've tried different things to get it to work, where I try to get the solstice or the sun going down in the background, representing the solstice. But yeah, I picked a few of the favorites. And this gentleman, who is slightly overweight, wearing Santa's belt, it appears, and with hot chocolate mugs as hands, does have a 25-year resemblance to you. Yeah. And I'm looking at even the eyes.
Can I see? Can you?
Yeah. I'm even at the under the eyes. You know, as you age, you kind of get one of those, not bags, but
sure. Yeah. But
I hope you don't get one as lazy as him.
I love the fact that, again, you said it, the hands not anywhere to be seen. They've just been replaced with mugs of hot chocolate.
Yeah, I've been using, again, different, and there was a few more last week that went out. But I wanted to mention before, I should have mentioned it last week. I apologize. We are going to do a surprise giveaway for somebody who enters the gift exchange. Mm-hmm. We're going to send a nice little care package related to the podcast.
Yep.
Maybe some things from APS 4.0. Maybe some things just related to items that we care deeply about, to one random lucky recipient from the gift exchange list. So
yeah, we'll do a random drawing.
Yeah, and it's not like some $9.99 gift. This is we're digging into the coffers. Mm-hmm. We're going to spend a few bucks on this thing.
Yeah.
Throw a few shekels at to get people encouraged to join this. So if you want in on that, you have to join in again. Today is your last day. If you already entered, you're entered in that giveaway as well. A nice little care package coming your way sometime before the solstice hits as well.
That'll be exciting.
DM us your name and address at Steve and Kyle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them work. Please don't comment on a post. Sometimes those get missed. I know we've mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try to keep track of it, but we inevitably will miss them if they're just in the comments.
Yeah. Final hours, final day. Please get your name in now.
Yeah.
That is this is one of the favorite things we do every year. And in the coming weeks, the staff here, obviously, will partake, and we'll get our do the staff gift exchange.
Is there
always a joy?
Is there one person you hope you don't get? Look, this is just me and you talking here.
Listen, I've said this for a long while. Lisa in HR can suck an egg. Okay?
I don't know if that's the person you want to tell to suck an egg. The person in HR.
I've said this for a while. The next quality employee in HR that I meet, the first quality person in HR that I meet. Okay? There's not one good one. If you're listening to this podcast right now and you work in HR, I generally dislike you.
Okay. I'm looking at Gil. Accounting Gil.
It's kind of amazing that we have as many accountants as we do, considering how much money we lose. Do we need to just fire our accountants and get a new one who can make us money?
I don't think that that's the accountant's job. I don't think it's their job to make us money. I think it's their job to see that the money is allocated correctly.
It's my favorite type of chocolate. A little bit of fudge. Okay? Fudge those numbers a little bit, Gil. For God's sake. Got Amazon not paying taxes. Yet Steve and I can't make a buck.
While we were doing that, I decided to play around a bit with some AI.
Oh, good.
I pulled up the website that you were using,
Mm-hmm.
and I typed in Kyle from the Steve and Kyle podcast with a big smile.
Oh, well, I got to tell you. One, no frame of reference. So it's not like they can pull anything with me with a gigantic smile to go off.
I don't know. Let's
pull those up. Let's see.
I'm gonna pull it up on the Tron for you because I want to see if you agree with these results. Some of them are well,
good.
this first one.
Oh, God. You know what? I'll take that just based on the hair.
I don't know what's happening there.
Okay,
but
so
you look like the coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, with a bar of soap attached to your chin.
Yes, for some reason I'm either licking a bar of soap or eating it.
Okay, that
Yeah, I kind of like that one.
it doesn't look anything like you.
He looks like I watch it every year. He looks like the redhead from Love Actually, who makes the he flies from England to America to find the perfect American woman. That's who that looks like.
This I don't know what AI's issue is with hands.
They really struggle. That looks like I'm like sitting backward on a chair, like about to talk to the kids in 6th grade about not doing drugs.
Right.
Hey, kids.
This
That middle one's my favorite.
oh, this one?
Yes. That's just an outstanding job. Just a gigantic mouth. One eyeball checking the window.
Yeah.
And the other one checking the sun.
Good head of hair though.
A delightful head of
Great
hair.
head of hair.
That's a beautiful outlook. Oh, God. So I don't remember you putting amputee anywhere in the description, but in this one I am definitely losing an arm and a hand. Top half of one arm.
Well, your what would be your right arm is coming out of your abdomen.
Yeah, maybe if you could take a screen grab of those 9 options and say which one does Kyle most represent with a big smile, and we can post that on our social media as well. And this last one looks like I'm taken out of one of the Spider-Verse movies.
I'm not sure why there's fire behind you.
Yeah. Just some shiny chompers. Nice head of hair, though, on all of them.
Yeah.
I think maybe you need to update the prompt to include
Very nice.
Kyle from the Steve and Kyle podcast, parentheses, without a lot of hair.
So, yeah, well, we'll post a screenshot of that on our social media at Steve and Kyle.
I mentioned it towards the end of last week, and I needed to get to today, and we've already neglected it for 13 minutes to get to the A bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is I saw something else again coming up to the house.
Oh, no.
I needed to bring up.
Okay, so within these past couple of weeks, I've disappointed you in numerous ways.
Well, listen, you've not made it a secret over the years that you wanted to be the dirtbag of the Zach, and success. You've done it. Congrats.
Okay.
Today, not dirtbag, but more inquisitive in nature, because for years, a couple of years now, you and I, we've built up to this occasion. And it appears this year, no build up for you as much. Maybe slipped through the cracks, fell by the wayside, because it appears the exact same Christmas lights that you have had for a few years went back on in the same format.
Yeah, I'm...
That you, at the end of last year, correct me if I'm wrong,
I wanted to upgrade.
you did not like.
I just felt like I could do more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're looking at, right now, the box of what you could have done more with.
The LED strip that I bought that
You just needed 4 more, I believe.
has just been sitting in the same spot
Since May.
since May.
Again, Cinco de Mayo. third best time of the year to buy your Christmas lights.
Now, I don't feel bad about that because, again, if you remember, I did not pay anything for them.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was one of those things where you spend the money and then they give you a coupon or
Beautiful. God bless you, China. You know, a lot of people say they're ruining commerce and human rights violations. I say thank you.
I got no problem with them.
I say thank you for the email free offers I get for garbage all the time for the same thing.
Yeah.
I've gotten a couple of gaming headsets, but I still get, I get stuff for a computer, mouse, keyboard, sound bars. I mean, I haven't used it for most of those just because I don't know what I'd do with just stacked crappy electronics.
I'll take a sound bar.
You want a sound bar? Next time I get a sound bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Send it my way.
Yeah. $10.
Yeah. So earlier in the week, it was, probably 2 weeks ago at this point, I was looking at the weather and I was like, oh boy, we're going to have a couple of nice days, like sunny, 58 degrees.
Yeah.
And Annette had said, hey, I think probably be a pretty good time to put the Christmas lights up if you're going to do it. Oh. And all it took was my daughter to overhear that, and then she was laser focused. All she wanted to do was put up Christmas lights. Yeah. And by that, I mean, all she wanted to do was briefly stand outside while I put up Christmas lights.
Like long enough for you to get a ladder out.
I was on the garage roof, and I noticed she had already gotten bored, started drawing on the sidewalk or on the driveway with sidewalk chalk. Well,
seeing as it was, like you said, Annette's idea, so she hopped up on the roof and got going?
No. That did not happen. She did climb the ladder.
All the way or halfway?
About 70% of the way,
okay,
to hand me a couple more strands of lights. So
that's very nice.
So I wouldn't have to come back down. And then after a little while, it was just me on the roof and they had gone in the house. So the lights are...
the holidays, the time of togetherness.
So I got the high roof line done, and then I started to do some stuff on the porch, getting the lights around there. And then I realized that, do you remember that bargain that I got, the deal of the rolling century on those lights?
Yeah, we had found, I forget the exact pricing, but it's no secret. We laid out the dollars and cents here, where you got the used double strands for like 30% of the listed price.
Yeah, of
the new ones.
Yeah, I think I had bought like 500 feet of lights,
an absurd amount of lights,
and spent $80 or something.
But 500 feet at that time is what you knew you needed, just because. I mean, it was May when I came over and you had a printout of your home with like feet estimate.
Measurements and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So about 30% of the lights are struggling at this point.
Struggling?
Meaning half of the strand is lit.
Oh, no,
and
really?
Half of it does not light.
Let's talk storage technique, Steve. Are you just ripping them off the roof and tossing them into a bin?
I'm gently rolling them up.
Okay.
And putting them in a big plastic bin.
I don't know what else. I mean,
keeping them they're just in the basement.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to like put them in climate controlled storage or a humidor or something. So I don't, I spent, basically I need like one more strand. I need to be able to revive one more strand in order to finish the area that I want to do.
So what are you do? Are you going around? Are you checking out each bulb? Are you? Because it's 2023. If you got one missing bulb and the whole strand goes out, time to upgrade your lights anyway. But you can see the missing bulbs then individually, right?
Yeah, because these lights have, I don't know, it's not like it's a screw-on bulb, but then the actual light bulb is underneath it.
Yes.
So you got to unscrew all of the light bulbs, and then you use like a little flathead screwdriver to pop out the bulb, swap it with another bulb. I have two sets set up, so I have my control and my test strand. So, so I spent about 2 hours the other night going through. I was able to revive one strand. I have 4 that are only half working. Man. One of them I got working again. If I can get one more working again, But I've already gone through 2 of those other ones, and I wasn't able to do it. So I'm down to the final strand.
So let's talk contingency, because they're on the roof. So was this? You're a grown man enough to say if this was a user error. Did you neglect to check them before putting them up?
No. Everything that's up is working.
Okay, I assume that you meant you got them up there, turned them on, and noticed they were out. Okay,
everything that's up is working.
I just started putting mine up last night and didn't check, so kind of nervous right now.
I kind of want to go back to the old school days where it was like an actual light bulb in each one, like a screw.
So you'd unscrew one and bulb and light itself, like whatever you want to call them, case and bulb, are coming off, and you could replace it with, a different one.
Yeah, kind of want to go with that.
I don't even, do they even make those kinds
Probably
anymore?
not.
Because most of them are going to have the light itself hooked to the string.
Yeah.
And then just the cap on it to give it the color.
Yeah. I'm just... Also, I made a terrible mistake.
Oh, no.
You had turned me on to the idea of the clips, the shingle clips.
Of course.
Little plastic ones. Well, so I put them up last year, and I was like, holy crap, it cuts the time like more than in half to put the lights up. You just go click, 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 click. So I thought I was a smart guy last year when I took the lights down. I was like, I'm leaving these clips up here.
Yeah.
That was a bad idea.
Why?
Well, they must have just sat up there and baked all summer, because I went to clip the lights into them this year, and every single one of them broke.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I like I said, I started putting my own up yesterday and popping them back into the clips that have been up there for years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No such luck. No such luck for me. Every single one broke, and I had to replace them.
So are you kind of in a mini panic right now about replacing the whole thing? Because what do you do right now? Again, if you buy, I guess now you missed it. If you buy lights now, you're an idiot.
Well, what I'm thinking I could do, which will be a bummer for this year, but okay moving forward, is pulling all the lights down. What are we, 3.5 weeks before Christmas?
Yeah.
Pull all the lights down, sell them, because I'm obviously going to make a fortune off of them 3 weeks before Christmas. I'm going to easily double my investment on these lights if I sell them all right now.
Again, the ones that you're saying right now are fringe working, half replaced.
I'll only sell the ones that are 100% working. Take that profit, maybe put it into a mutual fund or something.
So, these $60, you're going to go CD on those things? Well, if you get that CD open now for a 6-monther, you're ready for Cinco de Mayo.
Exactly.
And you can replenish the stock. So are we willing to go back and say that deal of the rolling century maybe was not?
Oh, no. No. Because I got a good 2 years out of those lights.
You did. So we're at risk right now of me coming back here next week.
While we're sitting here, I'm
gonna pop those in?
I'm going to pop them in.
We are at risk then right now of the Steve house, mere days after Miss Evelyn came to you and said, Dada, let's put up these lights. I really want Christmas lights. There's nothing more I want in this world than Christmas lights. And you're days away from saying, Evelyn, come on outside with Dada and sit there and watch as you stand on the driveway with just one hand around the cord and you just start tugging. And you're going to rip them all down right in front of her face. Oh, those are the ones that bounce to the noise, too.
Yeah.
So you can, as I talk, they change color. Now, how many feet was that, Steve?
Boy, it's hard to say.
Safe to say, not enough to do the 500 feet you'd want. That's the directions. You can run that on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to measure it right now, just roll it out.
Okay.
Staple those things to the house.
I mean, these look great.
Yeah. I think those would look beautiful on the line of the home.
Should I do it? Should I unroll the whole thing?
I wouldn't, but it's your, listen, those are the ones you're rolling back up. It's not me.
All right, let me see if I still have the app. I probably deleted it from my phone.
Yeah, you were probably wondering what this is and how did they install that on your phone without your knowledge.
Let's see. No, don't have it there. No. Nope.
So are you thinking about just kind of flying by the seat of your pants? Because as we talked about a few years ago, you had a digital printout with feet measurements.
Yeah.
So if you were to do what I think you're thinking about doing, you're considering yanking all the old ones off the house and just freehanding this LED strip on there, right?
Well,
you wouldn't be able to get roof line. I mean, you wouldn't get any of that.
Yeah. I think part of the issue too is that the roof on our house it's in rough shape.
Okay.
We're probably going to be getting a new roof in the spring. I think that the roof line is going to be done because I don't think that roofsmen, yeah, I don't think that they recommend clipping things to your shingles. Probably
not, but they're also a bunch of whiny babies. Roofsmen, notorious whiny babies.
Okay. It's Kyle that said that. Not Steve.
No, I'm posting on the poll right now. I think the world will agree.
Is a roofsman?
Are roofsmen notorious whiny babies?
I don't know what to do. I just feel like I'm at an impasse.
Well, we had the proper amount of conversation in May, and it seems like we were on the good track, and then it was neglected possibly for 6 months. I'd like to get a look at those things. I think there's, if you had to migrate from doing the entire roof line this year, like pull those ones that you currently have and kind of
use this for like around the front porch.
Also not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea to go, dual. That kind of looks neat, right?
I could probably do porch and garage doors. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I got one more roll. Boy, I gotta go in and see how much I paid for these and how much they are these days.
And again, I cannot believe that right now, after all we talked about, you're willing to pay the late November pre-Christmas cost for lights.
I mean, I did order these on May 7th.
Yeah. Well, Cinco de Mayo, as we all know, we were celebrating the holiday.
Get the hell out of here! $39.99.
That's what you paid?
No, that's how much they are now.
Yeah, there's zero chance that. Yeah, and how many feet are that? Okay, is that strand?
So back then. They were $39.99, but I had a $10 coupon, so I paid $29.99. Plus, I used a gift card, but then I got like a $30 credit on my account. Apparently, these are 60 feet.
So you would only need 8 more. to get as much footage as you currently have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
At $40, do you think you could advertise to Annette that you'd save so much money in the years prior on lights?
I really don't think that's going to work. I don't think so.
So do you think a $320 charge would be noticed?
Oh, look at this. This is just a bright white
static
blinking.
Bright. In case you want to fly down an airplane, I guess.
Uh-huh. Okay. Speed.
I got to tell you, I'm a little bit sad that this is the way your holidays are going around here. And now Evelyn's going to always think that the holidays just suck because Dada can't put up lights properly.
There we go. White. Clean. Oh, never mind. I guess that's just going to never stop blinking.
There's plenty of options. I don't doubt any of this. This is great. I'm disappointed you didn't do anything different this year, and now your house looks like crap.
Okay, that's kind of rude.
Steve, I don't know if you've had this situation before. I'm sure you have.
Okay.
It's something that our parents probably can't relate to, so you're still just blinking lights. Looks like a police car was down here. But also celebrating the holidays.
Oh, look at this. That's a nice setting right there. Okay, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Our parents never had to worry about this, but in our day and age, cell phones, text messages, whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, you also have kids, right? And so you might be sitting there, whether it be typing out a message or just browsing on your phone, and all of a sudden a crash or a noise or can you help, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I had one of those last week that led to an interaction with someone associated with this podcast.
Okay.
So last week, I forget what I was doing. Obviously, my phone screen was unlocked.
Do we know people?
Oh, no. I would say it's a tertiary, quote, know people in this regard.
Okay.
So doing something on my phone, I don't even believe I was texting, but then heard something, hey, help or whatever. So I slid my phone in my pocket and went to do whatever. Didn't think about it for another 10 minutes, something like that. At some point, I'd taken my phone out, kind of tossed it on the counter in our kitchen, and came back to it a little bit later to a reply message. Mm-hmm. So I had texted our former comrade in the podcast awards, Brian, from Pop Culture Leftovers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, we haven't talked to them, 2 years probably?
2 or 3 years, yeah.
Okay.
And where you might think, hey, maybe this will reinvigorate, a relationship or a podcast relationship or friendship gone by. I can assure you that it was not in the cards.
Okay.
I had sent, apparently, my pocket had sent a message, KL, and then LML. So just like the phone screen was on, and somehow, God.
Typical pocket dial.
And let me tell you, the last time I had texted Brian was September of 2020.
Oh, okay. Right in the middle of the pandemic.
So I sent him those two messages a couple of weeks ago on November 5th. Mm-hmm. And it was met with an honest reply that, again, I don't think is going to rekindle our podcast relationship. Eat a
That seems aggressive. For a pocket dial or pocket text.
I've thought about sending like a explanation or apology follow-up, but part of me almost wants this to just be the very last interaction.
Now, I why? What is he so mad about?
Well, we only spoke to him the one time on this podcast.
He was
a very angry man.
He holds the award for being beeped more than anyone ever.
We had, I believe, there was the physical incarnation of just forget about it while listening to him talk, because I think we may have tried for a few minutes to timestamp so we could beep until finally the hand was just said, just forget it.
Whatever.
We're going to have to mark it explicit. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. Impossible to do this.
Yeah.
I think that's the proper way to end the relationship here. Unless, listen, this may be a nice reconnection.
Years from now.
Maybe bring it back. Maybe you can reach out, say, hey, I believe you did this before, didn't you? Yes, you reached out to former Ohio State running back Mike Weber,
of course,
on my behalf and got me unblocked. So maybe shortly, or maybe down the road, we have you again reach out and say, "Hey, Brian from another podcast, I'm so sorry for my co-host.
Yeah,
he did not mean
just a garbage human being.
Maybe should we tweet at him right now? We do still follow each other.
Maybe screenshot that text and post it and tag him in it, just with a question mark.
That are just like, sorry.
Because I would assume that he deleted your number. He does not still have your number.
I would assume, right?
So that text just came from a random number to him.
Yeah, and again, 3 letters and then 2 letters, again, that don't make sense because my denim pocket typed it,
But I think you guys are kind of kindred spirits, because his baseline is pissed, and that's very much like you.
That is just the way it seems like he goes through just life in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just by default,
I'd like to see you.
By default, he's mad.
I'd like to see you mend this fence. You're the levity
You
in
want
the
me to do
situation.
it?
I'd like to see you mend this fence.
Okay.
It was just a few minutes ago we created a rift between us and Roofsman, so I'd like to see us maybe mend the rift.
Okay.
With a former podcast we did. We used to have a
look,
relationship.
it's the time of the year when people come together. You want to, you want everyone to be happy.
Mm-hmm. I've wanted to talk about this for a few weeks now too, and we'll get to it quickly. Before I believe I wanted to recap the polls before we get out of here as well. Mm-hmm. I've noticed we talked a couple weeks ago about how I feel like I'm rapidly aging.
Yeah.
And just how things are. Just when you made that tweet about City Skylines 2 Steam and how it all seemed like gibberish to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, and I want to see if I'm in the same boat here. I'm now trying to actively do things and engage in things to make myself feel a little younger. Am I alone in that? Now let me give you a description.
I'd need an example.
It was a few months ago where I went and downloaded actively to listen to the new Olivia Rodrigo album.
Okay.
Because she's on an iPhone commercial. She's on like another one where describing her making videos, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I still want to be a part of the cultural zeitgeist. Mm-hmm. You know, the talking point, the angry 20-something-year-old girl music.
Sure. Yeah.
So I downloaded it and listened to it, and I like some of it. Mm-hmm. Really enjoy a lot of it. I remember her previous singles that were, radio popular and everything. Yep. I did that to try to bring myself to the youth, to feel normal. Okay. Right?
How?
Because otherwise it's just like me shouting like, "Yeah, she's fire. Have you heard about Bruce Springsteen?" And I'm just old at that point,
yeah,
Steve.
I think that it was a real eye-opener earlier this year when we did our karaoke night.
Yeah.
And
oh boy,
we're there again singing Bruce Springsteen.
God, you're so right too.
And like Aerosmith.
I'd forgotten it.
And then everybody else is singing songs that I've never heard of by people I've never heard of.
And everybody around us.
And everybody
knows all the words.
Everybody loves it. And then we're up there like, this one's off the old album. And I think because of my job, the side gig, mm-hmm. I think that I'm able to kind of, I don't know, walk in both of those worlds a little bit.
Right.
But as far as actually actively trying, I don't have any shame about, the fact that I like Taylor Swift or anything like that.
Sure, and listen, I'm too old to care about those things.
Too old to care. Do not care about that one bit. If I like it, I like it.
Yes.
And that's fine. I can't think of anything that I actively do, though.
Well, let me ask you. I first noticed
this.
Try
and appear younger or try and feel younger.
Right. So, feel like you're not falling off the cliff by yourself, right? Well, everybody's just trudging along. There's you and I, half blind in one eye because we're old, falling off a cliff.
That's my wife. She does not know about anything current, and I respect the hell out of her because she doesn't care either.
Not caring is impressive. It's not that I care, I guess I should say. I just I'm scared. I'm scared to be the old man.
Okay.
I'm scared to be the old man who doesn't know what people are talking about.
Yeah, I think that I'm I get what you're saying, and I think I'm good enough at hiding that I don't know what I'm talking about a lot of the time.
Yes.
So if somebody says like, "Oh, what? You don't know the new whatever Olivia Rodrigo album?" I'll be like, "Yeah, of course I do. Blah blah blah. I like that song too." But it's very relatable what you just said.
I try to keep up with, TV shows or movies, but you know how it goes with family and kids and stuff. I can't even get to the movies that I would normally get to that people are talking about or hobnobbing about on the internet.
Yeah.
So I also feel like we're at an age or getting to ages where our headspace is like it's limited, right? We're done expanding on what we can learn and attain and become knowledgeable in.
Yeah, there's no more room. There's no more room in there. My hard drive's full.
Yes. So when you tell me, like, hey, did you watch Rick and Morty? And then you're talking about, like, Pickle Rick or, like, Space Morty. And I'm like, I know they're massively popular.
Yeah.
I don't have an iota of ability to jump into that fray now.
Yeah, I don't. It's tough, especially with, like, TV shows and movies, because there's so many good TV shows right now. It's like, I do not have the time.
Oh, yeah. We're way past content ability to retain.
I can't watch, I have 2 young kids. I can't sit down with my wife on the couch one day and be like, hey, you just want to binge a season of whatever?
Yeah, let's watch, 16 hours of, Grey's Anatomy or whatever, right?
If we're lucky, there's 1, maybe 2 nights a week where we get an hour, a half hour to an hour after the kids are in bed, where we can sit down and watch, catch up on. We're watching Welcome to Wrexham. I love it.
It's such a delight.
But yeah, it's like, that's it. That's all I get. I remember when Annette and I first met, we binged Breaking Bad. I had never seen Breaking Bad. So this is almost 10 years ago. And I mean, in the first couple weeks that we dated, we watched that entire series.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
That's
listen.
60-some episodes.
This was early 20s Steve. It was Breaking Bad and Breaking Beds. Like, it was just an episode.
Breaking Bad and Breaking Beds.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Mid-20s Steve. Just 45 minutes of Mike Ehrmantraut and... Nope.
And that's all I needed to fuel me through the night.
Which you wouldn't go to sleep for. You just pound 2 energy drinks and keep watching TV.
Sure.
And now...
Yeah, it was... because back then my schedule was the same as it is now, but I'd be like, no, it's cool. I can stay up till 12:30 and watch 1 more episode. Yeah, of course. And I'd be fine the next day.
I mean, this is just me thinking too much about it, but I wonder, do you and I have a lane here then? And it's not a new lane, but it's a lane I think you and I would fit perfectly in. We flip the script. And by default, we have to hate all of those things.
Ooh.
Right?
Even though we don't know it.
Right. So I've listened to the Olivia Rodrigo album. I know it. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. But like the Rick and Morty situation I told you about. No, yeah, I think I need to, jump the median here on the highway and go against traffic.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not in.
I think it's dumb. And if you like it,
you're dumb.
You're dumb. Right? Can we do that? Is there anything else going on? There's nothing out there like you.
I can get on board with this, I think.
Just you and I right now. Okay.
Yeah.
What's out there right now? Because again, you said with the side gig show and everything, you're, for the most part, in terms of news and whatnot and happenings, you're kind of in there. But what's the one thing that maybe you've heard, whether it be online, in person, where you've maybe nodded your head, go, "Oh yeah, that's crazy," but you had no clue about? Maybe it's a new term. Maybe it's a movie, a song, a book, whatever it may be. What is it out there that's really gotten to you where you've had to go? You've played along with it, but you got home or you escaped your boy.
Do a quick Google search.
Yeah, got out of that one.
All right. Boy, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm so horribly behind with TikTok. I don't have any clue.
I never even downloaded it. I can't do it.
I have it on my phone, but I've never used it.
Oh man, I hate to even admit this because I'm now I'm shaking my fist figuratively right now, but literally I was. Katie's heard me complain for months that even on Facebook or whatever where they have reels of people that it's nothing you follow.
Yeah.
Like I somehow got sucked into the Taylor Tomlinson algorithm and I can't stop. I just keep clicking on them because that's all that's there. And I go, I've never watched her. She's funny, but why do I keep getting Taylor Tomlinson?
Boy, Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh no.
kind of annoys me.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
we're drinking. Yes,
she is.
Sink into it.
And it's so hard for me to explain. But she's one of those. She's a funny comedian.
Yeah.
But her delivery kind of bothers me because she tries too hard to make it sound like it's off the cuff.
There it is. One of our top comedians today, and Steve is old manning her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I feel like that's a way. Stand-up comedy is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? I for the most part, we're not breaking new ground. And when we do break new ground, you see like the explosion of a Dane Cook, whatever it was 20 years ago. Angry Man comedy, Bill Burr, where I would argue his height was probably 10 years ago, right? Yeah. You see Burt Kreischer, where it's physical mixed with family story. There's evolving of stand-up comedy, but then there's also like the idea that everything has to be what you described, like with Taylor Tomlinson. It doesn't bother me as much, but boy, am I glad to see it across the table for me bothering you.
Yeah, man.
Because again, I would argue she's probably one of the top 5 working stand-up comics in the country today.
Just got her late. Oh, I just thought of something that I do not like that everyone else likes related to stand-up comedy.
Oh, no. I shouldn't say oh, no, because I think I'm going to agree with you here if it's going where you're going.
Oh, you're going to agree with me. How about on the count of 3? So we'll go 1, 2, 3, say it.
Okay, mine's just going to be a name.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Jimmy
Matt
Fallon.
Rife. Oh. Matt Rife.
But you're right. You know what? I can safely say I agree with you because at this point, he's too popular to the point where people were, it was a gigantic thing when these tickets went on sale.
Yeah.
And people were complaining, oh, they're too expensive and I can't do it. And then I had no idea who this man was. None whatsoever.
He is a mediocre comedian.
Known from social media, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's popular is because he was a stand-up comedian on TikTok or Reel, whatever they're called nowadays.
No, he was on some show too.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, it was. Oh, God, I forgot what the show was. It was like some MTV show.
Haven't heard an ounce of it.
Yeah, he's a mediocre comedian. But he's an attractive, mediocre comedian. So women, of course, love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you jump in the median.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, I like this idea. I would like to make some merch of Jump in the Median in Takesville. And it's just a car driving, again, hot rodding over the middle of a highway.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yes.
With a road sign that says Takesville. Takesville, next exit.
Okay. I love it.
All right.
Boy, I'm glad I was able to get it off my chest, Steve, because it's had... Aging is scary. And I want to be a part of what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. But I think back to even people, when the rapper Mac Miller died of an overdose. And, my God, one of the greatest
don't know who he was.
wordsmiths of all time. And
no idea.
I'm still thinking about, Nelly from 1998, right?
I have no clue who Nipsey Hussle is. I know he was killed.
Oh, he's dead?
He is.
Okay. I just like the idea of an isolated thought. I don't know who Nipsey Hussle is.
Do you?
No! I don't know what a Megan Stallion is. She a rapper or a dancer? It's good to get off our chest, right?
Oh, it feels so good.
Like old man, just get it out of your system.
Oh, weight has been lifted.
Well, I'm glad this is just you and I. So obviously we won't be embarrassed online when people finally hear this. Because Andre 3000 is coming out with a flute album.
What?
A flute. He was part of Outkast. That was like our generation where that we would listen to that music. And now he's playing the flute because he can't connect with kids. Seriously.
He's on board. He gets it.
We need to send him some Hot Rod Takesville shirt.
Send him an invite. Oh.
Now just a couple old men shouting around in circles here. One of them's about to go outside and rip off all their holiday lights in front of their daughter.
Yeah.
The other one's about to go home and cry into a pillow.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been fun. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's like the last day, right? To get in for
Yes.
the 8th annual Steve and Kyle podcast, Cloak and Dagger, non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange. Just find us at Steve and Kyle.
Yes.
On all the social medias. There will be an explanation of what it is there if you want to participate. And you're listening to this podcast the day that it is put out, which is, November 28th. You have just hours to get on this.
So. All that talk makes me want to get Brother Mike on the horn, who is, I would argue, even before today, was, mentally and the older of the three of us, like the way he lived life and demeanor. Mm-hmm. And now he has kids entering the age of Matt Rife. Like, hey, he's funny.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd like to hear how he's handling that.
I bet he has no clue.
He just shout at the clouds, bah humbug? Is he Ebenezer?
Probably. He's, Brother Mike strikes me as somebody who, if you ask him who his favorite comedian is, he's going to say, like, John Candy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brother Mike's still the one claiming cassette tapes were the pinnacle of... No offense.
Hey, Brother Mike, who's your favorite comedian? Us. It hasn't gotten any better since Sam Kinison.
You may not remember, but there used to be a guy who used to scream about respect.
All right. We'll talk to you next week. See ya.